What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the brother Gizmo for the donation to the channel via the Cash App. Much respect to him for showing love to the channel. And those of you who fly, you probably have already heard this news. And that is, after 43 years and recent years with consistent financial struggle, Spirit Airlines has closed its operations, have shut down its operations for good. And this, of course, Spirit Airlines was one of the, well, if not, I think it was the most low-cost airlines that there was globally. You know what I'm saying? It was specifically designed for those who are budget watching, but in recent years, they've come into financial issues. They filed for bankruptcy back in 2024 and 2025 before finally closing down this past Saturday. In a Saturday press conference, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy told reporters that Trump was, quote, like a dog on a bone, trying to figure out a way to keep Spirit afloat, but that a creditor issue undermined prospects of a deal. And several top airlines had committed to offering capped ticket prices for Spirit customers rebooking canceled flights. According to Duffy, American Airlines and Delta will also be offering lower fares on high-volume Spirit routes, according to the Department of Transportation. Several Republican lawmakers blamed the airline shuttering on Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat from Massachusetts, who long fought against a $3.8 billion deal that would have seen Spirit merge with JetBlue. A judge blocked the merger back in 2024. Warren and the administration of former President Joe Biden had argued the deal would raise prices and reduce competition among airlines. And Senator Bernie Moreno, Republican Ohio, wrote on X this past Saturday, the 14,000 employees at Spirit who've lost their jobs, the travelers who will now pay higher fares, and the shareholders and debt holders who have been wiped out can now thank Elizabeth Warren. Electing left politicians who have zero business experience has consequences. Stunning, Texas Senator Ted Cruz wrote alongside a repost of a social media post calling out Warren in light of the closure. Democrats, meanwhile, say rising fuel costs stemming from the war in Iran are at fault for Spirit's demise. Spiking fuel prices from Trump's war was the nail in the coffin for twice bankrupt Spirit Airline. Warren wrote in a post on X, for what it's worth, JetBlue merger failed because a judge appointed by Ronald Reagan said the deal was illegal. Republicans are desperate to shift blame from higher costs hitting families. And the thing about Spirit, from what I've read, is that they started off back in 1964 as a trucking company called Clipper Trucking Company. So they were actually a trucking company that was transporting transporting materials and supplies through out the country to various different destinations. A contract company. But it was back in the early 80s when they began to branch off into flights. And initially, I think they were flying cargo to different destinations. Because, as time going on, as the world became smaller, as far as communications and travel, flying, which was a faster way of transport, became something that branched off from Clipper Trucking Company. But then they switched to commercial. And from 1992 onward, they've been known as Spirit Airlines. At first, they were called Charter One Airlines in 1983, and then they became Spirit Airlines back on May 29th, 1992. May 29th, 1992. Isn't that the same day Jay Leno debuted as host of the Tonight Show? Or was it May 28th, 1992? Might have been May 28th. It was around that time. So they had a good run, man. They had a good run all together. Ceased operations May 2nd, 2026. And their operating bases were in Atlanta, Chicago O'Hare, Dallas, Fort Worth, Detroit, Fort Lauderdale, Houston, Intercontinental, Las Vegas, Miami, Newark, and Orlando. And at the time that they shuttered or ceased operations, they had over 130 flights as far as in their fleet. And they live in error. Because I don't know how many people in my personal life, as far as friends concerned, that have used Spirit, and they had some great deals, man. And to me, I tend to blame both parties. I think you could argue that the Democrats fucked them over when they blocked that deal. Usually it's in my, not every time, but 99% of the time when you merge with another entity, because it's much more efficient to just, have people come aboard who already know the job. They'll just have those people come over and sign as employees with that company rather than firing 14,000 people and just going through the process of rehiring. It's just more effective to just have these people sign on as employees of the merged company who will now be with JetBlue. So the Democrats, ultimately, you could argue they did cost them cost of employment, but then at the same time, of course, the Iran war is causing fuel prices to go way up. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. They already were struggling. And then with this war, it's costing more to fuel up. And they're barely making a profit. So they basically try to get the, government to bail them out. Hey, but this ain't Wall Street, we're not going to do that. So they were forced to shut down. They were forced to shut down, man. And I know a lot of people, like I said before, I know a lot of people who have used Spirit, and they, some people try to badmouth it and call it the ghetto airline and all that shit, man. But, you can't beat it. Some of those prices, man. You can't beat having a goddamn all the way round ticket, round fare ticket. I don't fly much, so the lingo, I have to think about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really fly, so I have to think about it. But yeah, I've looked on their website before, and I remember years ago they had round-away tickets for like less than $200. Shit, you think that you never gonna see that shit again? But anyway, man, rest in peace, Spirit Airlines. Tell me what you guys think.